one's going for you, keep it.
So I called Morgan and Morgan. Oh, awesome, thank you.
You all
I just bought one of these.
Oh, did you really?
Yes,
Oh, I have plenty.
I'll tell you more about that. I like that with my hand surgery. Awesome, thank
And
you.
it's a good size too.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys, if you think, gentlemen, you know, with your hands, can you see my tape? Can't see my tape.
No, you look great. I want the tape.
Oh my God.
I need the
have to
tape.
give you the stuff. I
The
can't
tape,
believe-
that's like gonna be the
It's in
big
like
thing
2
now.
seconds. I'm like,
What
put it-
tape? What are you talking about, tape?
She
I
gave
put
herself
tape
a
on my
facelift
face.
this morning with some tape.
It's
This is important on the Networking Arizona show. You wanna look good, you know.
I
Yeah,
was
not
like,
like
I
me.
saw it and I'm like, I gotta try this.
You're okay either way.
This way.
Mhm.
It was so funny. It was funny.
So that should be your ad now.
It's
It should be. I don't know what's on there.
the tape.
Yep. Okay, you ready for me? You're
I'm
gonna
ready.
get this right up to here.
Yes, I am ready. You see my name tag? I feel like a big blue piece of water. Big water. I'm a water drop.
Say your last name so I say it right.
Kiernan.
Kiernan. I always look at it and it doesn't look like that, no matter what. We're gonna talk water today.
We are gonna talk water. Yeah, there's some talking points.
What? What did you just say?
There's some talking points? Or not
You're
talking
good.
points?
I don't know where they are, so
Oh,
you look at
shoot.
them.
Take out. And like why you would wanna.
We're just gonna wing it.
Yeah, we can wing it here. Yeah, there's some, I kinda did a whole bunch of different things.
Hold on, we're gonna
Yeah.
start. I got you. Welcome to the show and happy rain out there. I'm so excited that it's raining. And everybody, when I said happy, were looking at me. But guess what we found out today is, what did we find out?
It's
Bring up, get up right up to that mic.
National,
Women's.
Women's
like,
Day, International Women's Day.
International Women's Day is a
Happy-
happy
yes.
day. Yeah,
It's a happy day.
It is a happy day because we got some rain here and that's really nice. And we're live on Facebook too, so they don't have rain on Facebook.
No.
But they're
No.
not gonna hear anything if we keep on doing that with the mic. So let's just wait a minute for me to finish. I'm having fun here on the show today. I'm a little spunky. So, we're live on Facebook, so I do wanna say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We'll share the show later on. And, it's perfect that it's raining out today, cause my first guest I have with me, Teresa Kiernan, and she is with Drylux Restoration. Restoration, that is what we're talking about today, and water.
That's
Water. Now, obviously, you do way more than water. I want you to first talk about Drylux, how long they've been around, how reputable they are, okay?
Okay.
And then we're gonna talk a little bit about what happens with water and rain here in Arizona, and when people have to call and say, help me.
Help me. Well, first of all, and thank you very much for everything you do, Carol.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So Drylux has been in business first, family owned and operated for 17 years, which is great, out in Gilbert.
Amazing, 17 years.
17 years. And, you know, the crazy thing, I should say crazy thing, but word of mouth has built Drylux to such an amazing level for a company. Being family owned and operated, building a trust level with the consumers, you know, so many other companies too within Arizona, because basically you're in days like this, it's crazy when it does rain, because you have companies that work with companies. Drylux has built to, you know, like I'm getting caught on my words because
It's
I'm so
okay.
excited about the rain. They've just developed such an amazing business company foundation for a restoration company in Arizona.
Well, I will tell you one thing, when somebody comes in, when you're, you know, really worried about something and upset, let's say with the rain, a lot of times people get leaks in the roofs, right?
Correct.
And so the next thing you know is they're really upset because let's say their carpeting got ruined or what have you,
Goes
or,
down the wall.
you know, you had your closet, you had mentioned us to us that, you know, and when things go bad, they can go really bad, and when they get fixed and they're done nicely and everybody's happy, everybody wants to tell them about that.
Correct.
Good and bad, right? But
Right.
you have good, reputable people that have been in 17 years here in Gilbert who just wanna help people.
Right, and the great thing is, and you made some, you know, there's some points there, is when you do have a company like Drylux, and I'm gonna use the one thing as an example, as we talked about this, we had a client that called, he did call his insurance company, did not wanna file a claim, they did refer to us, we went out and looked at it, it was a basic crack in the wall, but it was something that could have been, you know, from basic settling, foundation, crack, you know, so you want a company that's gonna come in and give you an honest opinion with what is going on. You know, if you see rippling, say in the, you know, in your floor.
In your floor, that's not
Or,
good.
no, it's not good. So there's a lot of different things you can look at, you know, moisture in the walls, you know, whatever the case may be, but companies that go in, anybody could have gone in and just started knocking out the wall, which we just went in and, you know, said, hey, there's no evidence that there's anything there right now. We don't wanna just go in and tear up a wall. We're not gonna do that.
You don't wanna tear up a wall and find out that nothing's wrong.
Correct, and it could have been just a shift, so like today, I'm excited because I get to follow up with Edgar, is his name. You know, you wanna wait for that rain, so could it have been from a cracked tile in the roof, whatever the case may be, but when you have days like this, there's certain things that you can look for that are not noticeably there because they have dried or cleared up, so that's why you do wanna make sure that you are calling somebody in that is reputable, that's not gonna go directly in and tear something up, to where that's like with Drylux, where we come in and, you know, just having the foundation, to start with, when you have a company, the level of experience, the trust, the knowledge that are gonna go into a home because it's your home. You know, you wanna make sure it's done right.
You don't wanna feel like you're getting ripped off.
You don't wanna.
Let's just
you
call a
just-
spade a spade,
You just
you
don't
know?
wanna have somebody come in and tear it up, and believe me, I'm out there in the marketing world with these companies, and I hear so many different stories, especially when I run into clients.
Now, I don't know if I could say this or not, but I'm gonna,
Okay,
okay? Cause I overheard you that you're in the world of insurance.
Correct.
You know it, you
Right.
know it inside and out.
I am
don't
an
know how-
insurance agent as well, right?
Right, so listen, let me tell you something. We were talking many times before about why not call your insurance company as opposed to calling someone like Drylux first. And the reason why is because if you have a deductible, more than likely, you're paying out of pocket no matter what.
Correct.
I got it, I listened to you.
Correct, and it's, you know, you have, and it's fact, the home insurance rates
Sky high.
are sky high. Mine has gone up 35%. It's very unsettling. What do you do? Sometimes you're gonna shop around different carriers. Couple things with that. When you do shop around, you know, your homeowner companies, they're gonna look at many different things. Water claims are huge.
Mhm.
You have 2 or more claims, there's some companies unfortunately that'll say, sorry, you know, they're not gonna write, but it is so important because you wanna cut costs, you wanna watch what you're saving when it comes to the home insurance expense, you know, because it is costly, but the deductible is what is key, like you said, Carol. When you have folks that have a $5,000 deductible, a $10,000 deductible, and then to have that ding on you for filing a claim, wait, call a professional, have it looked at.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes it's gonna cost you less, you know, than what the deductible would even be, so.
It's worth it to make the phone call.
It is really worth it, and
And-
call a professional, nothing against handymans or a do-it-yourself job, because if it's water restoration, it's a damage, you wanna make sure it's done right, otherwise you can lead to many other things.
Like mold
Yes.
and all sorts of things. You had it happen to you just
I did.
recently.
Yes, I
And,
did.
you know, here's the thing, you wanna put in your phone, this is a reputable company, they've been here for 17 years, right here in Gilbert, but they work statewide, and they do a lot more than just water. We're gonna talk about that when you come back, cause I wanna get that out of all the things that you do. They do free in-home estimates, they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. You're talking about quality and experience, and that's what makes them different. They're residential and commercial. You can check them out on their website, which is drylux.com, and their phone number is 480-750-8220, extension 220. Here it's raining today. How many people I don't know how, if it's raining still right now, cause you know, it rains for a second and then it stops, and then it rains again, but sometimes when it rains pretty hard. And a lot of people might be having their roofs leaking right now as we're talking. And if you have, maybe it's you or someone that you know, give them a call first, make sure you call them first, because you might be paying out of pocket no matter what. The number to call is 480-750-8220, it's extension 220, hang tight, we'll be back in just a minute. So you see, I've been listening.
Yeah,
Now I wanna ask a question, okay?
okay.
Cause you do more than just water, right? And I wanted to get out like water, wind, hail, right?
Hail.
So water,
You have water, you have water.
you
hail,
have hard
smoke,
water, which is snow,
Snow.
hail.
Hail, right? And you'd be surprised.
What else?
Biohazard.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
So we have the water, storm, mold.
Fire,
Fire, biohazard,
that's it, we're gonna
Yeah.
do that right
yeah,
now.
which you never, I mean, it hailed out here a little while ago.
What about water comes up from under the ground?
That actually too, that's gonna be your backup septic and sewage, so usually that's where you are, you have a plumber to where a lot of companies will have insurance for that, but yes, that can be, say if you've had something in the garage that comes up, it can be the same thing to where that goes
Like
into
the
my
water
friend. Like a water heater, cracked if your tiles are not sealed correctly,
So they can call you for that?
they can call to see if there's damage because of that.
Okay,
So it's like, that's how I had my sealant on my tile and my shower wasn't done correctly. So here, for years, it was going into
you had mentioned that last
the
time, I
closet,
remember.
my bathroom vanity, everything. Until I had to have, I was walking into another bedroom going, God, it smells like carpet. What does that smell? What does that smell?
Water, a lot of people don't understand water travels.
It does.
right?
It
The leaks
does.
are as-
How do they not understand that water travels? I mean, water moves.
Oh, and seeing out here in Arizona, because it's so dry, and think about it, we haven't had any rain. You don't see anything, like Edgar's house, I mean, I cannot wait to call him to find out.
What happened?
What if, you know, he has a leak, if it's wet, if it's, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
More than
It's
likely,
more, you know,
there's something there
I
because
would think it's
when
something.
something looks wrong, there's something going
Yeah.
on, right?
Yeah,
And it's like our bodies, okay? Like I knew something was wrong with my daughter when I was pregnant.
yeah,
No, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It wasn't fine.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, and nobody was listening. But you know your body, you
Yeah.
know what looks right.
right.
You know what's wrong. And especially when you're lying there, and of course when you call somebody, that's when you can't hear the noise of the water rushing, right?
Yep.
And then they leave, and then at night you hear the water rushing,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Right, a lot of these older homes, all the pipes are ran through the slab.
yeah.
And maybe you buy a house that they had problems, they re-ran the pipes.
And you know what, it's very easy to hide.
Yeah, and they
It
don't
is
do it.
very easy to hide, that's why you want to have an inspection.
We are gonna do it differently next time. We're gonna have you talk about that side of it, all those things like it's hard to, oh my God. So welcome back, everyone. We have been talking water and damage, and you know, it's really interesting when we are on a break, we still talk even more. And what we learn is really cool, and some of the people here, you know, they start getting involved with it, and because everybody's had something happen. Most people, especially you're a
Some point.
homeowner, you know something's happened to you
At some
before.
point.
And it's gonna, and you, because your background, you are an insurance agent, is that what I call you
Correct,
as well?
yes.
As well,
I'm still
Right.
licensed in there,
which is
yes.
so neat because you're there to actually help that homeowner to make those decisions and find out, look, is this something that can be covered or not, right? And more than likely, we talked about this before, that even if you are already, you got the insurance and everything, call them first because you're probably gonna pay out of pocket no matter what. And every time you call your insurance company and tell them something happened, and I don't care if it's a ding in your windshield or this, something big, they take that against you. I'm so sorry to say.
Unfortunately, they do, and that's, you know, it's just fact.
Mhm.
You know, whether It's an accident windshield claim, that you give your auto side and then you have your homeowner side. And when you do have a homeowner side, legitimately, companies do not like a water claim.
No.
Because
Fire
there-
too, I bet.
Fire too, you have, you tie in with the smoke damage is huge. If you've seen like what's going on in California, like we were talking, it's to get rid of that smoke.
Mel, oh my God, let me
It
just
is
tell you, I accidentally turned my stove, I was in another world. I put on my stove, I had some butter that I was melting, oh my gosh, it went up in smoke, let me tell you. And of course, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it, that this had happened to me, and it could happen to anybody.
Right.
But the fact is that number one, the damage that it causes, the smell that's there, these things have to be taken out properly. And, well, Drylux, they do all sorts of things. We know we're talking water today because it's raining out. They do hail, they do fire, they also do biohazard, which is a whole nother conversation sometime, which is another huge thing that happens here a lot, no matter what, anywhere. But today it's raining, so we thought we would talk about rain. The main thing is that when you're thinking about something like this, or you know that you've had some damage, get that second opinion. Get somebody who is reputable that comes in, that's there to help you be on your side. You think that your insurance company is on your side, but they're not always on your side.
It's to get claims, you do have to go through the channels, to have everything looked at correctly. So there are claims adjusters that do come out when you do file that claim, and they are gonna go through it. Are they easy to work with? Honestly, any insurance company, when it comes to a claim, you're gonna have your challenges. I'll just say you're gonna have your challenges. So it's, they have to be cautious too, because they do not want another claim. So this is where it is so important when you call a company that it is being done.
I'm gonna tell everybody,
correctly.
because I'm sure they've heard me say this before. I lost my house in the Northridge earthquake, right? And that's a big, huge
It's huge.
situation. And we had a lot of damage. And I'm not gonna name the insurance company because I don't have to. But let me just tell you, folks, how hard it was. And here we were all, this was just obviously a natural disaster. And how hard it was for us as new, young homeowners, right? And oh my God, it was so terrible.
Yeah.
And a lot of people know this. I mean, I can know people, they can relate to us what we're talking about here. Because even the smallest of claims, somehow, they sound really nice at first, but then it becomes so hard and drawn out and all of this.
Right, and there's a lot of investigation. I mean, something like that with a natural disaster, that is different. However, it comes into value, assessments. There's so many steps that they do have to take for that. They really do. And it's awful because, having the right company in place.
How do you know? You don't know.
Honestly, do your research. Look at the companies.
Right.
Look at the companies, look at the longevity, look what they specialize in. There are outside companies, there are third-party companies that will also, take part of. There's companies that will, you have the name, but they're selling for a different company, so it could be sold off, kind of like a lender.
Mm-hmm.
You go through one company, but then a month later, you're finding out that it was sold to this company because they bought your loan. It ties into the same, but when it comes to the insurance end, you do have to go through so many steps in order to have that coverage, and making sure you have the proper coverage. That's where it ties into you have to be educated on the coverage that you need, and this is where
enough coverage.
And this is where it comes into cost. So you have your cost, so you want to keep your cost down. So you're gonna have to have a higher deductible. You want to have the right coverage, but you're gonna have the high deductible.
Right.
So now you're facing, okay, do I want to pay this out of pocket, or do I want to file a claim?
And if you file a claim, now you're risking if they say to you, we're gonna not have you anymore, because they do it all the time.
And it does follow you, unfortunately. Is there a time frame when claims fall off? Yes. When it comes to a home, the crazy thing about homes, those homes, that not only will that claim follow with that customer, because you filed a claim, but it's also gonna carry with that home, because that's where the damage was. particular, like water damage, like we were talking.
And if you have damage, you gotta tell the person who's buying the home about the
It's a
damage.
disclosure, you have to
Right.
disclose what has happened, to where we were discussing, can things like that be hidden? Sure they can. If you have, I mean, and it's just being transparent with it, but having the right company that helps to eliminate the issue, the problems, making sure that is taken care of from the start is gonna help prevent what could happen in the future,
Now-
which is very important.
Drylux, that's who you wanna think about when it comes to anything, when it comes to water, hail, fire, biohazard. You wanna think of Drylux. Their phone number to call is 480-750-8220, that's extension 220. With them, you get quality, you get experience. They're both residential and commercial. They are located in Gilbert, but they work statewide, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. And they do free estimates. They're all about the client, making sure that the clients are, they know exactly what they're dealing with. They educate them, you know,
They
about
have to
what's
be-
going on.
Right, exactly. And that's what makes Drylux also, in my eyes, one of the, you know, the best company, because you are being educated. I mean, coming in with Drylux is, it's coming in as if it were our home,
Mhm.
you know, our business, because we want to have a certain level, you know, of care, compassion, empathy on the situation that's at hand, because it's, you know, it's our life, it's what we, as a consumer, have vested in a home, in a business. We wanna have the right company that's coming in to do, you know, a job, take care of us the way, you know, vice versa, the way they wanna be taken care of is how we're gonna take care of the consumer.
I
So it
wanna
is about
ask
the
a couple of
customer.
questions when it comes to something happening, okay? So let's say they've got this leak, right, and it's just leaked all night, it's now on their carpet, it's through their wall, right? Let's say this happens. What is the first thing that the homeowner should do? Obviously turning off water if it's running, but if it came from outside, from up above in the sky, you know, should they start to dry it out? What should they do?
One thing they always should do first, and this is just I mean, definitely, yes, you wanna shut off that source. Take photos, if you're able to immediately take photos. Taking photos before you start to move anything is so key when it comes to an insurance company.
And now it's so easy.
You wanna see what actually has happened. If you could get a leak while something's going, take a photo.
Mhm.
Have that as a resource, put it in a PDF file for yourself. Then, of course, you wanna watch any electrical, you wanna stay away from any electrical if you're able to disconnect any cords or anything, that's the other. And then try to, you know, dry up what you can with towels, and that's when you are gonna make that phone call.
Right.
End call.
I know you think that making the phone call to the insurance company is the first, because that's what everybody
Right.
thinks, but not necessarily. This is what I think you wanna get out the most, is not only about this reputable company, but that don't call your insurance company first. Just
Right.
give them a call, let them come out, they're the professionals at, you know, the do-it-yourselfers. Wonderful that you do what you do, but guess what? You may not have done it that well, the right way, and then what could happen?
Then you can actually, mold can actually develop within 24 hours,
Mm.
especially with this heat. You know, you can go with the hidden damage. Mold can be very, very detrimental. You do not want mold. It's harmful. You want to get that out there. So within 24 hours, you can all have that. If it's not dried out, taken care of correctly, this is all gonna come back.
And then,
It's
of
all
course,
gonna come back.
if you do have mold, now that has to be taken care of.
Correct.
That's just another problem. And by the way, mold is, not only is it's dangerous for
It is.
yourself
And animals.
and animals as well.
And animals too, so it's, you know, and like I have birds, so you have to think about everything
never
that
think.
surrounds you, you know what I mean? So yeah, you do have to make sure that you call those folks in Drylux to make sure that it's assessed, everything is done correctly, your dry out. It can be a little bit annoying with the dry out, especially when there's fans, but make sure it's done correctly, so you do not have anything rereoccurring, but it's done correctly.
They also have a 24-hour response
Correct,
team.
we have a
We've talked about
24-hour emergency response as well.
that. Because of course, when it happens, it's always in the middle of the night or the weekend, right?
Correct, right,
So
so 24/7.
24/7, you can call
24/7.
them. They are located in Gilbert, but they work statewide. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau, A+ rated. Their phone number is 480-750-8220, extension 220. It's drylux.com.
Yeah, the water's crazy.
I'm sorry, Carol.
Did you like that one?
Yeah.
You guys did a lot. So
What'd you
what,
say?
now what's this tape?
What'd you say? Oh, yeah,
I
the
said you
tape.
guys
You need
did a
the
lot.
tape too? Everybody needs
I
the
need-
tape.
I need some